Welcome to the August 5th, 2026 business session for the Planning Commission. We want to start off by going over any type of ex parte communications or conflict of interest to disclose for this evening.
None.
I see none. We'll move forward into the general public comments section. Now, the general public comments section is an opportunity for individuals to make general public comments that do not relate to any projects scheduled for tonight's public hearing under the business items section of the agenda. And please see the public comment policy on the reverse side of the agenda if you have received this. And it does look like we have received some additional comments this evening. But if you are here to discuss anything in the general public comments as well, please feel welcome to at this moment. I see none. So we will move on to the business item for the evening. We've got a pretty short meeting this evening, so we'll be able to get through this relatively fast. The project CUP-26-012, which is the Planning Commission, will be holding a public open hearing to consider a request for a conditional use permit submitted by Catherine Belcher to operate a home occupation with client visits providing Pilates instructions and services at 3594 Brighton Point Drive. And Maverick, if you could do a presentation on this, please.
You can see the screen there? Good. Okay. So project number CUP-26-012, action request is conditional use permit to operate a home occupation with the client with the Pilates class. And the applicant is Catherine, and the property address 3594 Brighton Point Drive. The property zoning is R1A single family residential. This for the request, the applicant is requesting approval of the conditional use permit to operate the Pilates and appointments only home occupation with an exceeding single family residential and 3594 Brighton Point Drive. The business will provide a private and a do Pilates instruction for up to 2 clients per section with an exceeding indoor studio space. The business will be owner operated with no additional employee and will serve approximately 1 to 5 clients per day. So for the proposed business hour is Monday 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Tuesday 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Wednesday 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Thursday 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Appointments who will be struck to minimize traffic and the parking impacts. Client parking will be accommodated within the exceeding driveway. No external modification, signage, outdoor activity, or structures improvement are proposed. So the picture we can see the applicants, their front yards and the property vision. You can see the curved driveway. And this is the traffic and the parking plan. So during the class, the applicant and homeowner will park her car in her garage. So they have a 3 parking space providing her driveway. And also the car need to follow directions in and out. So this is the site plan and the floor plan for the applicant's property. So all the business activity would happen in the basement at the Pilates studio. For the public comment, after we sent out the public notice, it's at 12 p.m. on the Tuesday, the city received 2 public comment regard to this application, and all the public comment already forward to the commissioner. Zoning analyzing the impact. The property is located in the R1A single-family residential zone district. A home and occupation with the client might be approved as a conditional use in the R1A zone pursuant to City Code 19.26030 Section E and the 19.76040 F and 7. The proposed uses and appointments only owner operates home occupation provided private and the Pilates instruction within the exceeding residence. The business will operate internal indoor with no additional employee, exterior signage, outdoor activity, retail sales, or structures modification. The application tendency approximately 1 to 5 clients per day with appointments only and to minimize the traffic and the overlapping arrival. Client parking will be accommodated with the exceeding driveway and no on-street parking is proposed. Staff found that the proposed use initially and secondary to the primary residential use is not expected to create a significant off-site impact and will preserve the residential character of the neighborhood subject to complying with the conditional of approval. So staff recommended approval and all the approval item already sent into the commissioner and all review during the work section. If the commissioner want to read all of it, I'll review it, but if not, I'll just show it here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Maverick. We will now move forward to the applicant's presentation if you do have one, or if you want to make any additional comments in regards to this project. And if you do have anything, please come up and state your name.
I'm Catherine Belcher. Just wanted to say thank you for your time in reviewing this permit. It was important for me to go through the process to make sure that we, respect the neighborhood and our neighbors and my family and my clients so that they're protected. And I just wanted to thank you guys for your time in reviewing this. The parking, one thing I just wanted to clarify too is there was a little discussion over whether we would, there would be an opportunity where we would add more than 2 people. I think you probably saw from the pictures, that's my maximum capacity. I don't think even if I wanted to, I could fit more than 2 people. So it's kind of naturally capped at that. The parking also, in the event that there was an overlap. So the sessions are designed to be 50-minute sessions to provide, the previous session to exit before the next session comes. In the event that I don't herd cats and get everybody out, somebody stays and changes their clothes, or there is that extra circle drive where if there was, as a straggler, or there was kind of, people didn't get out in enough time, there's an extra spot. So we technically could have a little overlap, but the plan is to end at 50 minutes. 10 minutes is plenty of time to get, out the front door before people arrive for the next session. So just wanted to address that. And I don't know if there were any other questions, but yeah, the clients are longstanding clients of Cottonwood Heights. Been teaching here. They've been coming to a local studio here for 16 years, and they've just found that it helps them stay active and mobile. Some of them have, arthritis, other issues, that this is just a mode of movement that's really helped their quality of life. So I'm just hoping to keep, this community together and keep providing that for them. And unless you guys have any other questions, I think that's it.
How many current clients do you have?
Well, that was my oddly specific business hours. So I have, I think 10 total right now. So between the private clients and the duet, the semi-private sessions. So, that schedule's already changed a little bit, where I'm glad we kind of discussed talking about not having quite such specific hours, because now the people who were interested in coming on Tuesday are now more interested on coming on Thursday, but it's the same amount of hours and clients. So that did come up a little bit. So those hours might shift, but the total shouldn't shift.
Great.
So yeah. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
We will now move forward to the public hearing section of the meeting, in which you will have 3 minutes to speak on behalf of the CUP. Let's see, this is for the CUP-26-012. So we will open that up. And we do have a public comment, Catherine Robinson.
I'm Catherine Robinson. I live almost across the street from Kate, and was probably her biggest opponent of fighting this, because we were worried about traffic. We were worried about opening a Pandora's box for others. And I have to compliment Cottonwood Heights on how careful you have been on this in making sure that everything is in writing and clear. In meeting with Kate today, I truly believe she wants to keep it small and doesn't have the space. And if she were to decide, I'm so successful and I'm bringing in 50 people, I understand she has to start the process all over again. So all of those fears that we are worried about, I think we have been solved because you have been careful on your part in protecting the neighborhood and our needs. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate the chance to talk to Kate. So where I was fighting against her and several others in the neighborhood, we have all quieted down. We support her in this efforts. We hope she'll be very successful.
Thank you. Any other public comments? I see none, so we will move forward to commission deliberation and close public comments in the public hearing. This is wonderful to see the efforts that the applicant has put into place on this. As we were mentioning in the work session, it is astonishing how many illegal businesses are being run out of homes in our city, which, not only creates exposure and risk for those businesses, but also creates, a neighborhood where there's animosity and it's not being a good neighbor, and, creates public safety and health and safety issues. As you can see, we're very deliberate in what we allow within the city. And if you go through that process and ask for things, it's going through the process and better understanding more about your business so that you're more successful as well. Nobody wants a business that is not parked appropriately. If you have a restaurant, you want to make sure the restaurant's parked appropriately. If you've got an office building, you want to make sure that the office building's parked appropriately. And then on top of that, all the health safety measures that are going into place and all of the deliberation that our staff here, as well as the commission, go into place. So we're very grateful that you've done this and, setting the great example within the city. And that's what makes our job easy, I would say. So some of the things that we did discuss within the work session were, right now, the hours were 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And actually in her application, there was staggered hours throughout the week. We believe that based on kind of the traffic flow and some of the other conditions that we're looking to propose, to open that up 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. I think with the limited amount of traffic that's going to be operating out of the space, it'd be very standard to just a residential neighborhood, just usage, I guess you could say, and make it so that you don't have to go back every time that you're changing hours, and that's cumbersome for the staff and cumbersome for everyone. Now, quiet hours within the city are 7 a.m., as we had verified, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. So I would imagine that Pilates is not too rowdy. I mean, pickleball is much rowdier than this, which we had a moratorium on last year or 2 years ago. So with that, the conditions here, the commission, are there any further thoughts that you have on the current staff recommended conditions of where we want to make some modifications?
I think maybe I would just add our gratitude for a very well done application. And it is uncommon to have someone do their best to play by the rules. And when you do, it works for everyone, and it works for us here. It's worked for your neighbors. So our appreciation for a well-done application. I do think there was one thing that we discussed, which we might add to 5, about the number of simultaneous people there. So we may want to amend 5 to say that no more than 4 simultaneous clients would be. Is that adequate?
Should be parked appropriately. And I mean, I would imagine that would only be a 5-minute overlap based on the applicant's disclosures on that.
6 already covers the parking, and so I think we're in good shape there.
Wonderful. I welcome any motions.
Do you have a model motion by chance?
I might just say, while you're looking up that model motion, one of our interests in Cottonwood Heights is to promote health and wellness. And I think this is a step in that direction. My hope might be that the number of clients would be something that we'd have to consider at some point if this goes well. I do think it's an endeavor that will help to enhance the health of the community, and physical activities like we're talking about here is something that's very beneficial for people as they go through life, and especially as they get a little bit older. This is a kind of activity that I think could be very beneficial.
Yes, Chair. In the work section, the commissioner also discussion about like no more than 8 appointments per day. So kind of like increase how many class the case can accept. So just depending on you guys want to make any condition for this parts.
We did discuss that, and I think from a regulation standpoint, I think that will be more difficult to regulate. And I think over-regulation in this, I think this applicant is incredibly diligent and careful and honest. So I think with this and their disclosure and their application, I think there would be other factors that would come into place if that were to exceed. And I would imagine that the applicant wouldn't want to spend more than 8 hours working out like that. There's limitations, I would assume. I've only done Pilates once, and it was after Cafe Rio, and I would not recommend it. So,
Thank you, Chair.
yes.
All right, with that, I move to approve project CUP 26-012 pursuant to the conditions of approval outlined in the item staff report with those additions that we've made. Yes.
We have a motion from Commissioner Shelton
I'm happy to second that.
and a second from Commissioner Smith. Any further deliberation? Wonderful. We will move to a vote. Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Shelton,
Yes.
Commissioner Barnes,
Yes.
Commissioner Kovac,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson, Commissioner Steinman, yes. Congratulations. Moving forward to the next item of business is the consent agenda from the July 1st, 2026 Planning Commission minutes. Have you all had time to review on these minutes? I welcome any motion to this as well.
So move.
Wonderful. We've got a first and a second, please.
And I was absent on this, so I should abstain.
I'll second.
A motion and a second, and we will do a all-around vote on this. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We've got one more motion for the evening.
Adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Wonderful. Got a first from Commissioner Shelton,
Second.
second from Commissioner Kovac. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Have a great evening.